Hello. Hey, a warm welcome if you're watching this. Christoph and Mo here from the Bitcoin design community, and we're on a call with the wallet scrutiny guys. We've got Leo and we have Ed. If you're watching, thank you for watching. We're pretty much on the stage where the designs of Christoph has been implemented, and this call is pretty much going to be, chatting about the implementation, that kind of thing. Yep.
I would say not just my design, but also copy guys, copy, and Mo,
Yeah.
all of your valuable feedback.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so Leo, you mentioned that the implementation is very close. There's some polish left, but overall, you feel like it's in a very good state. So we could go over that real quick. But I also wanted to just ask, just overall project-wise, let's say you're happy with this. Would you push it live next week, kind of a quiet rollout, or make a big announcement? Or do you feel like there are any big gaps, anything that couldn't be resolved, something in the design that didn't work out during implementation? Just curious on the top level.
I said we should roll it out soon because it's clearly an improvement over what we currently have live, and showing some progress is certainly good to inspire users that this is not some old data from last year, but some ongoing process. And but on the other hand, I see gaps there. It's not like, oh, it's the all new fresh and it'll stay like this forever. So we still have work to do, but I'd like to show the community that there's progress, and it's already better. It should certainly be pushed out as soon as possible. There is some there's some details that I wasn't too happy with the design proposal, like the graphic that you made where you see, oh, there's so many apps in that category and so many apps in that category, where you have the gray boxes and the small green boxes, yeah, like what you're showing there, and and what does the gray mean? Like, is the gray ones that those that are not in that category? Yeah, like Ed implemented it perfectly. It looks exactly like that. So and I can shuffle around the categories. I plan to shuffle them around because there's something about privacy which we do not look into, and but the but it's details like that where I'm like, okay, and what does the user expect this to mean when there is 90 gray boxes and 10 green ones? And what's the 100? What's the 90? Like,
Yep.
that's a bit confusing. But at the surface, it looks like, oh, that looks nice. And then you see the numbers, and okay, the graphic is there, and like the number that's highlighted, you see it there, but you don't know what the gray boxes are. It's a bit confusing, but it's still nice, and it gets a message across. So that's the landing page, and I care mostly about the landing page because 95% of the users don't go beyond the landing page. And and on the detail pages, we'll see later, there's also some details where I'm not too happy with, but that's just stuff we will polish over time, and it's already a quite great step forward from what the user currently sees there, where he has little incentive to be on those analysis pages, where when he doesn't want to read the analysis, he just wants to understand where his product stands. Then this is already a great improvement what we have here.
Yeah, that makes total sense. The thing that you brought up is a really minor thing with those little dots. So if that's something that bugs you, then the big picture stuff seems to be in good shape, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have brought something else. So that's really good to hear. Ed, how about you from the implementation side? Was there anything that you wanted to bring up or discuss?
No, not really. I mean, it's been really fun to build it out. It was an excellent foundation to start with. So, it's just been working out how the logic works for the for the site itself. It's thrown up a few things like just, I suppose, changing around some of the titles we use for things like on the analysis pages. But these are minor things, We'll just we'll adjust those, as Leo said, as we go along. And no, it's a lovely design, fun to implement, and I've had no problems with it really. It's been good.
That sounds suspicious.
No,
No problems
really.
to implement, but that's good to hear.
That's really nice to hear that it just implementation was so easy. That's you really
Everything was very achievable.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Awesome. Okay, I had a question here. My biggest question was here on. So these are screenshots from just earlier, so they should be up to date.
Earlier today?
From earlier today, just I don't know, 2 hours ago or so. Already has things changed since then?
Oh yeah, things have changed already.
Oh,
go on.
okay.
My screenshots are also from 2 hours ago, so.
But
That's
I
okay.
don't
They're
think
minor
this has
things.
changed.
They're layout things. Anyway, yeah, go on.
I don't think this has changed. So this applied methodology is new. Right? That was not in the design. So it is nice. It is a very straightforward list of questions. You can see you have the green came back. And here you can see a few things for Sato Dime, where it failed. Right, so we came back to kind of a good bad, not for as a total for the product, but on individual things. So my in the designs, the idea was actually that these things were actually part of the categories at the top, but now they're part of a. So instead of all 12 questions being in one category, they would be sprinkled throughout the other categories.
Well, those questions that really fulfills a minor point we had talked about. I mean, there wasn't any design mocked up for it, but we had talked about sticking the methodology into every review page, and this was like the tidiest way I could think of to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, the way that either way is fine, right? Just needs to be something like do many people use this product? That's something that could go into distribution, right? That's where you give it to the world, and the world, like people use it. Right? If let's say there's only a single rating in Google Play, then it's something that not a lot of people use. And then this question is the response to this question is in distribution. So
we did start kind of focusing on tests as a gauge, like on the tiles on the homepage, past 10 out of 11 tests or whatever, varying by category. So in a way, it's like a follow through on the tests part, because apart from on those tiles, that reference to passing and failing tests kind of disappears.
The people want to know, okay, if it passed 10 of 12 tests, they want to know what are the 2 tests it failed.
Yeah.
So this question needs to be answered like quickly and easily. And there's one of my issues, that there's some that have failing tests in the summary, but then you don't find the tests that are failing.
Yeah.
But that's a glitch I have to look into, how that comes about.
Yeah. That's a very good point. That consistency, it just thins out the content of this very tall top section quite a bit. So I'm wondering as I was looking at it, I thought, this is a nice concise summary. I was also wondering if if these little dots here, which are the indicators for past 12 of 12 tests, if that could actually be repeated here on the right-hand side, so you visually get make the connection.
So Christoph, just to understand, it's like how would you would have the dots repeated next to these sentences, like just next to it? Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking about a sequence. The user sees something on the homepage and then goes here. And then we want them to make that connection. But there's also the scenario where, they search, go to their wallet, and they come here and they do not have this prior experience of the card. So to create the consistency, you could, I'm just talking about loud here a little bit, you could also show the 12 of 12 here. We don't have to resolve this here or anything. I just wanted to ask about it because it's definitely quite different from the design. And just to see if we need to update the design retroactively or merge things in some other way. Just wanted to have that conversation. Because that's the biggest change that I saw overall.
Yeah. So the idea you have would be to remove the ticks and the X's, and kind of carry through that idea of either a solid box or a grayed out box. For those, is that what you mean? Or dot rather. Something like that.
No, not necessarily. Let me see. Let me see if I can just. Let's say we take a screenshot here.
I mean, yeah, okay. So just repeat it here, and like when you hover, you get them highlighted. Like when you hover in the list on the left, you see the dots highlighted in this thing you drag around there.
There we go. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
I mean, it's a really small change, but it does create that connection again.
Yeah.
It's a good solution because I feel like it's giving a very quick high level overview without the person having to put all the pieces themselves together. Yeah.
Yeah, that works. We can do that.
Yeah. It was also something, I'm going to just share my screen very quickly here. This was the methodology page. I also took some screenshots from the methodology page. I was just on the test we run the section here, and I don't know what you guys think, but the contrast over here between these.
I cannot see your screen in case you're sharing.
1 second. Let me just. Here we go. Is that visible now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that this was directly from. Sorry, excuse the quality of the screenshot, but that's sort of that gray against that green background. I don't know. Visually, it just feels a little bit. I don't know what gray that is. It feels like it's just a little bit. The contrast could be a little bit more. I was just thinking because, I don't know.
Yeah, you could make it the teal color and make it not thin. That was actually something I was wondering. I saw the font weight is set to 200, which is very, very thin.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of that one? Of course, it must be intentional, right?
Yeah.
But for me, it was just very thin.
Ed?
Yeah, that was just a bit of an oversight there. Yeah, it really is quite thin as I look at it now. That'll have to be fixed.
I think that would also address the contrast issue. Just
thicken it a bit. Yeah,
text a little bit thicker. But it looks really good. I like the solution up here too. Also, sorry, Mo. I also like the color details on wallet pages are growing on me in really nice work.
Yeah.
With everything.
What are your thoughts on these ones? The word general, developer, and users here in terms of the sizing of the font. I don't know if it was just me, but it felt a little bit small to me visually compared to this font here at the bottom, or I don't know.
Yeah, it does feel a bit small.
It feels just a little bit tiny. I don't know. It's just
Perhaps it's the weight again, because it looks all right in the mock-up in the
yeah.
fig. So yeah, I'll adjust those.
Other than that, I just took a whole bunch of screenshots. I mean, there was nothing else. I'll go through this really quickly because we don't have much time and Christoph also needs to leave. But I tested it out on mobile and I tested it out on my iPad as well. There was one very small thing with the iPad. That's what happened on the iPad with spacing on the uh, About Us page. I don't know if that's fixable, but it did something really weird with the spacing. I don't know why it did that.
It's probably in between two media queries or so.
Yeah.
I think it changed also because I'm looking right now at the About page and when I draw the screen small, I see that the titles go between the images. So
Yeah. Well, that was the only one when testing on the iPad, and other than that, I don't really think I came across anything too different, to be honest.
Well, the great part is that this is all really small stuff.
So kudos to you, Ed, in terms of implementation and how you managed to copy the design.
Well, like I say, it was a lovely design to work with.
Good.
Okay, so I'll be sure to make sure I double check how things look on an iPad.
What type of iPad do you have, Mo? And was it portrait or landscape?
I have one of these ones. I don't even know what model this is. It's I even have a keyboard attached to it. It's one of the larger ones.
Okay, because it might be
Comes-
resolution specific, but sometimes these I just from prior experience sometimes at specific breakpoints, you know, the padding,
The design
the
starts.
bigger padding's not added, the smaller padding's not added. It's just exactly at that point. So it could be something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Okay, Mo, and also, so once this, so what? Let's say this is pushed live, then how do we get feedback?
Yeah. Was that question for me or was it like kind of?
I don't know. I guess it was a general one, but because you do like the
I love the
history
feedback
side
part. No, I mean,
aspect. So I mean, one thing is just send it to a few people and request specific feedback. Those could
yeah,
be people who are in the security stuff, someone who is a wallet developer,
yeah,
who's has previously given good feedback before, see how they respond to it. But I think that would be a good thing before blasting it out, just soft launching it and asking a few people. At BTC Prague, we could also ask,
yeah.
get feedback from some people at the hack day or otherwise.
I like that idea about BTC Prague because I've actually never done usability tests live in person. So maybe when we're just in the hack day room or when we're at the conference, I can just very easily relaxed kind of pick out 5 people and I'll say, hey, what wallet are you using? Can you type your wallet name in here and test it out for us? Just see how they go through everything and take some notes and yeah, just see how people experience the new interface. I guess I'd be testing out the demo though, right? Because it would be next week. So
if we don't push it live now before next week, yeah, then this demo page that Ed is running should work.
yeah. Yeah, I'll test it out. I'll be in Prague next week with Christoph and I'll test it out on some people. just take 10 minutes, just see how people go through it and how they experience it.
Okay, cool.
And another question, since this is also includes a rebranding, so do you need any materials for the Noster account or some of these other less nice social media places?
I guess I'll take the dog. And what do we have? Like, we never did the dog picture that you put into Figma with the real dog from Midjourney. So
Oh, you would use that rendering? It's somewhere
I think
in
it would be
Figma.
nicer for a social media appearance than this fuff icon.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea, or if the quite simple line drawing should be used.
Yeah, to make it recognizable, the avatar, it's a good idea to just use the same. But you also have the banner where you can do something more graphical. And if just for fun, as I worked on the Bitcoin design card game, I also created some vinyl toy renderings of the dog if you want to have a less
Those are
aggressive
cool.
version. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look exactly the same, especially I don't know what Midjourney was rendering here those years.
The last one is the Batman version, clearly.
That is the Batman version.
He's Batman, yeah.
So I don't know. We could also create some more dogs if you wanted to have a specific style. It's fun to play with. Makes it.
I don't know. Should we just stick with the line drawing there?
Yeah, but either way, you can think about it, and you can just reach out and say if there's anything else you need, or you can just get it ready. T-shirts,
Hat.
swag. You can give Noster badges to all of the wallets that are reproducible.
Yeah, I would love to do more with Noster, like moving content over to Noster, but it's that's just another huge task that that's not really advancing the usability of the product quickly.
Yeah, you also have the expert opinions feature still, right?
Right, that's why I was thinking about that, but the expert opinion would at least bring engagement, and yeah, but expanding to desktop is like very high on the list too. So
yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I'm sure it's a big project with lots of stuff. So just reach out. Something we also didn't tackle in the design were these widgets. So there are other things, but I would assume the priority is just getting this new version out, tidying up all the little pieces, addressing. Someone will find something that's really wrong, and just quickly addressing that big feedback, and then polishing things, living with it for a little bit, and filling in the gaps. And then at some point you might realize let's do this now, or let's do this now. But I think that's we can do the testing now, but like the general, as always, the general projects, priorities, and all that stuff is in your court. And you just have to let us know.
Yeah. All right. Then I guess we have to go.
I'll test that out for you guys next week when I'm in Prague. Oh, that's your daughter?
Ay, rojo. Ya, ahora estoy en una llamada.
¿Por qué?
What languages do you speak at home?
Spanish. We speak Spanish. I teach her a little German too, but yeah, that's English, German, and Spanish we speak at home.
Okay,
mostly Spanish.
Yeah, I'll be in Prague from the 7th So I'll expect to do some user testing already on the 7th. I can get maybe 2 people in the demo room on hack day and maybe 3 people. He muted himself. 3 people during the conference. I'm sure there'll be lots of people there who find privacy and security important. So we'll have some people to test with.
Let's do it. And I think we need to let Leo go here now.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
needed.
Sorry, guys. Now, the privacy is another huge, difficult thing to tackle, but with expert opinions, that might be possible.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thanks for the call, and by next week we hopefully have something live.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks a
Bye.
lot. See ya.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.